Hello, everybody. Dumela, are you good? Hope you are. Hope you really, really are good. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. My name is Nthabiseng Mwejana and I am a spiritual medium. Now, I've been going through the stats, right, of what you normally like to watch and how you are responding to some of the topics. The topic on love relationships, the one it really had too much of attraction. So I don't know, are you struggling or are you thriving when it comes to relationships? What's the issue there? What are the issues? Because yeah, the engagement on it, the time that you spent on it was quite interesting to understand those analytics. So analytics was the word. um we are now on 6,255, 285 views, 6,285 views, right? On the channel as a whole regarding the topics. That is a good number. That's a good number, family. And I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for the support. Whether you are tapping on it and going to take a snack and forgetting and coming back, whatever you are doing. But the fact is, there's a record of people viewing 6,285 times. On the space, in the space of social media and numbers and all of these things, I normally tell people that I never wanted to be on any of the platforms, from Facebook, from everywhere else, because it has a thing of thinking that you're trying to commercialize healing, or trying to, I don't know, but as much as I talk too much, I'm a very private person. So these things where you get to be exposed and you are talking about your life experiences and you are saying, come to me, let us share with each other. These are things that I did not want. And I usually said to my ancestors to say, I'm going to be there because you are requesting for me to be there, but I'm only gonna go there for accessibility purposes, and you are going to be the marketing team. You will bring the people, you will align the people who are off my gift, right? And people that are going to be needing me as much as I'm going to be needing them on this healing journey. So to get 6,000 views on any of the topics, as a whole, uh that's good enough for me. It's good enough for me, because I'm all for impact. If they are impacting you and they are contributing positively to your life, then my job is done. My job is done. Drops mic, well, drops red pen, but you know what I'm saying. So thank you, really, really, from the strongest part of my heart. I really thank you for coming through to the channel. Okay, let us talk about waging spiritual wars. Do not wage spiritual wars. What do I mean? A spiritual war is a spiritual dare, right? We get into a situation, you and I don't agree with each other, and then you decide, but Intabi, no man, you will see me, you will understand me. And it works along with what we've been talking about with regards to the power of agreement, that there are certain things you say, not being cognizant of the effect that it's going to have, of the possible outcomes. So you will have certain people saying, yeah, don't do that, you don't know my ancestors, you don't know who I am. On its own, you've then started to wage a war, a spiritual war. There are many things that will make you to get into a spiritual war without you being aware. You get to have a dream and you are sitting there in your dream, you are eating, or you have one of those dreams where you just are in some sort of a sexual interaction with somebody or something, and then you come out and you're like, yeah, it will never happen. These people are. I'm not saying you must accept things that are happening. I'm saying when you go into any spiritual war, you must understand the power that you have. If you have not mastered the power, if you don't, if you are just saying it because you are angry and you are not aware what you are doing, and therefore because you just said "Xwela hampe," you should not even, you don't even touch me, don't even. It's good for you to reject certain things that happen in the spirit and to say that's not my portion. I am not going to embrace what is happening, and I'm going to look forward and, you know, continue with my own route. It's better to say that than Yang Joel, I'm going to show these witches. You can't show witches. Let God, let your ancestors, let the universe show them. So this term is it's a very hectic one in the spirit. Bad dreams are happening, many bad things are happening just on their own, uh which is are trying us in the most incredible way, in the most outrageous way, like, yo, hey, family, we are ducking, things are being thrown at us. It's intense. It's currently very intense in the spiritual field, and that is why I'm starting this topic to say, if it's happening to me, it's definitely happening to all of you. It's really definitely happening to all of you at this present juncture, comrades. So as it happens, how you respond to what happens needs to be very carefully thought. So you can't just say, you can't give things a negative attitude without you understanding your own power and what your power can do in certain situations. So don't go off waging spiritual wars. There's one example that I want to share with you, right? I once consulted with a person and I was seeing the spirit of people shooting each other in the family. And I was saying, ancestors are going to be receiving almost the entire family because of what somebody has done previously, and this person has it's this person shot another person. So by my hand, many people are going to go into the ancestral plane. By my hand, people are going to be killing each other in the family, right? And I was tracing this thing in the spirit to say, but where did it start? I see this man killing this woman. And the client said to me, no, Coco, what you're saying is it's an uncle of mine. They were our gogos were married in a polygamous marriage, and so now the first wife or the second wife, apparently there was a conflict among the wives, and the children of the wives understood that one of their parent, well, I mean the mother had passed on, and the healer they had spotted this person as the instigator of their mother's death, and the child, who is now an uncle to my client. Now, the child took on a gun and go and went and shot the aunt, right? The sister wife to their mother. And that became a family curse because what did they do? They waged spiritual wars. If indeed the aunt, right, the mamungani there, if indeed the mamungani there went and be and takatat the mamkulu there, and now the mamkulu's children are now fighting back. So she instigated, she's the first one to wage a spiritual war. Now the child misunderstood the kind of war that he was in, because now he has a pistol, What then happens, he starts to fight physically into a spiritual war and then gets to shoot that one. And after that, it now becomes a family curse. It becomes a generational curse because of what had happened there. And now the ancestors are saying, unless this thing gets to be broken, you will then have many people of this lineage coming to the ancestral land by each other's hand, because we are one family, we are one umbrella, but we are busy here shooting each other and presenting each other to the spirit, because we are angry, because we are waging spiritual wars. That's one way of waging a spiritual war. I'm just gonna deal with examples. I'm just gonna deal with the real life people examples. If you find in your story there, just be grateful to say, oh God, thank God for not mentioning my name. Obviously I wouldn't, guys. Doctor patient confidentiality, but I want this to look real, to feel real, to sound real, because the thing about healing is that it always sounds so abstract, like njani, how does it happen? But things happen. That's why hey, healers, most of us, we need help, we need love, we need friends, we need good partners because the kind of worlds we get into and come back with such information is things that you can never think of when you're yourself sipping tea there, like, yo. Now, there's also another thing that had happened here. I'm busy speaking to a certain client and I'm realizing that the males of that family have been cursed, and all the males are going to lose interest in school, in a job, in finding a family, anything that makes a person become functional in a typical society. It's not going to be happening to them, and it will look like it's not happening by their own hand, right? By their own, they're doing these things against themselves. All to find out that their great great grandfather had a woman, and instead of marrying this woman, he married another woman. And the other woman, who was promised marriage and not taken into marriage, did something and said, you, Philemon, are not marrying me. Are you sure you're not marrying me? All right. No, it's fine. Then all your children, all your males will never marry. They will have false promises. And now we turn this child is young. This child is in their 20s. And when you trace back the curse, it's a thing that has been spanning over almost 80 years in the family, because a certain Martha there could not be married by a Philemon. And so Martha said, they will never, anybody that is coming off your loins and is a man, they will never succeed. So, meaning that your surname will be an embarrassment throughout. So, what did that woman do? She waged a spiritual war, and all of these children now were finding themselves in a pit. They were finding themselves in a pit and they just did not know. But again, that woman, whatever is happening to her descendants, is the thing that you cannot see, that I'm trying to explain today. You cannot see because we are not looking at that woman as a client and I do not know her story. But you will find mostly that the woman, because she waged a spiritual war, the very same energy that she threw there, it's now happening in her house, because you can't give what you don't have, right? So the same thing happens again. What you normally call karma. Karma, is it karma? Karma. Do we pronounce the R? Is the R silent? Karma. So what you then call karma is that it will come back, and that is why it is not good for you to wage a spiritual war. When something happens, don't go settle a score spiritually. At least don't pronounce negative things. I always say, pray, keep your corner clean, and God will do it. And the universe will do it, because there are only 12 principles that the universe understands. If somebody takes an energy out, that energy will come back in the same magnitude, in the same strength, in the same intention. So that is why you, with your own lips, with your own mouth, you cannot say, "Lenqwela hampe," therefore. You cannot say such. Because when you say such, I don't want to be egotistic, and I normally find this one to be quite an egotistic reasoning, but it is real reasoning that when you say such a thing, my ancestors will protect me. My ancestors, yes, you can bet. You can bet. You can do whatever. But I find that such statements make people sound a little bit arrogant. Yes, you can really be sure about what your ancestors can do, and most of us are sure because we've been tried and tested, and we're still getting tried. I don't know. This month, guys, please don't try us. Don't try us because our ancestors will show you flames. That's exactly what you should not do. But please, we are praying for our protection. We are praying for our safety. We are doing everything in love. Let people who are witches wage spiritual wars. You are not a witch. If you are a witch, you can wage a spiritual war, but you understand that is the power of light and the power of darkness, the governance of light and the governance of darkness, the people of light and the people of darkness. So when you are waging a spiritual war and you are a person of light, how are you going to maintain the darkness that when you are throwing into another person? Because that's not your source, that's not your strength. You do not go into that realm and know what you're going to do. And that is why people normally say, "Lentlwaela hampe," and they normally end up being hurt. Not that your power is not great, not that the people of light don't win, but you started to transcend into a world where you do not have a backup. So, your good ancestors, your ancestors of light, your God knows how to fight. Karma has already received a bad intention from that person, and it will give it back. When you are throwing it, what is going to sustain you when you get into the world of darkness? Nothing, because you do not know the world of darkness, right? So do not go and wage spiritual wars because of the hit back that comes. No, science says for every energy there's an equal but you know reactive energy. What does it say? What does science say? I lost my mathematics, my science ako grade 6. The law of inertia: for every action there is an equal but opposite reaction. That is the physical science at grade 6. It's the law of inertia. So trust that there are certain laws that are governing us. Now, when you tap into things and you do not have a backup in the world that you're trying to get into, you will have problems and you will come back to us. And I'm saying these things why? Because you are going on to social media, you are seeing these things, and you will know, do this mixture, you will know who's bewitching you. And after you've known who's bewitching you, what do you do? What do you do? Then they give you certain concoctions. Do that, do that. It is not. It is not your power system. Don't tap into it. When your power system is "the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Your power system is the snuff. Your power system is the candle. Your power system is prayer. That is your power. That's where you get plugged in. So leave all of these things to people who are of that governance, of that government, of that system. You keep your corner clean, keep your heart clean, be grateful for what you are having, be grateful for where you are going, and just live it. Live it. The universe knows where you are. Your ancestors know where you are. Your God knows where you are. Be there. May the good Lord bless you abundantly. My love for you is still there. Receive it. Thank you. Goodbye. Before goodbye, I have received your topic suggestions. Most of you are really interested in the afterlife. We will do that one next week, right? People want to know what happens when you die. Apparently, I promised you that I'm going to speak about it, and I forgot. Well, It's amazing how you don't forget the promises I make. Oh. Brenda Vesey says, I'm tired of promises, promises. Don't you know they turn to lies? So I don't want them turning to lies. I'm going to do good by my word because I am a woman of my word. Be well. Thank you so much. Bye bye.